All right, guys, what's going on? Scott Oden coming at you. We're getting in the studio, but today, instead of working on our games, I want to give you a little insight of some of the ways I like to enjoy my simulator. Again, I use my Mevo Plus. I use it with GS Pro, my simulator software of choice, and having the ability to play some courses, not only has it been super entertaining, but it's actually really helped my game when I've had to go play some courses that I would not have been able to play beforehand otherwise. So, without further ado, what I want to do today is give you a little bit of a top 10 of my favorite courses on GS Pro. Let's get into it. All right, guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to shout out, we are going to be showing all the images today for the top 10 with the BenQ LH600ST projector. This is a great projector, and I've had a lot of questions about it. So we figured we'd show you those images. This projector, really good because A, it's a great value projector, but it still has great features such as a short throw for many of you with small spaces. That's what you're going to need. And then also it has flexibility such as 2D keystoning. You can move the image around a little bit and get it corner fitted. And then also you're going to have golf mode, which BenQ introduced, which is really cool. So you see things are going to be greener, and then if you have water, blues, those are going to be a little bit bluer. And then my favorite part, it's an LED projector, meaning it has a 20,000 hour use life. You're not going to be changing out bulbs, which actually ends up making projectors cost a lot of money over the course of their life. Those bulbs are not cheap to replace. So just check it out. Again, a lot of people have asked about it and wanted to learn more and see more from it. So we put it in this video. Make sure you check it out. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about the favorite courses. A little disclaimer before we go into this. Again, there's over 600 courses currently on GS Pro. I have not played all of them. There are courses that I play because I want to play them. I've never gotten the chance. There's going to be courses on the list that I have played, and I love how realistic it makes it feel when you go to play them. This is also a really hard list to put together because there's some courses I really love that I left off. I want to know what your top 10 are. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the list. We will get into that. All right, so we've got our top 10. Again, these are going to be courses. I'll explain why I like these courses so much as we go through. But number 10 on my list, Seven Canyons. We're heading out to Arizona, Sedona, Arizona, a little bit north of Phoenix, not all the way up to Flagstaff. This is a course, it's kind of gone from being private to semi-private, and I believe it's fully back to private now, but this is a course I was fortunate to play when it was private. Awesome golf course. You're going to see a ton of different types of shots. You will also see it gets pretty narrow when you start getting off of the fairways. Now, I always love it. This is one of those examples of a course that I have played, so it kind of brings back some memories, things like that, but it is just a great golf course. We used to stay right on one of these houses here. You could walk it up. All of that was really cool. Now, the only reason this course is not higher in my book is because you can't capture the surround of what it's like to actually be there with all the red mountains and canyons that you're in. It doesn't quite look how the hills look here, but as far as the golf course goes and playing the golf course, it is a ton of fun, and it is one that they've done a really good job of depicting as you play it here. All right, course number 9 in my list. This is actually a course I just recently played, so maybe a little bit of recency bias in this one, but this is Premonition. I had a ton of fun. We were playing this as part of the Simulator Golf Tour. It was a ton of fun. You can see as we go through this course, just have some really cool, hey, we got to hit some fairways. The fairways kind of work in a really cool direction around. Just really fun golf course to play. You hit a lot of different clubs. You're going to hit a lot of different types of shots. Also, pretty scoreable if you can keep it in play. And as I mentioned, you're going to have a lot of really interesting looks as you go around of where you're going to be hitting your tee shots, everything going on. It really was a ton of fun to play it. All right, course number 8. We are going down to Alabama, Birmingham to be exact. We are going to be playing at Ross Bridge. All right, this is a course, again, I've had the chance to play it a couple of times. This is one of the most impressive properties, in my opinion, because this golf course can stretch to over 8,000 yards, all right? It is massive how much room they have. And there's no more better example then when you look at it over on this first hole, as we go through this par 5 that goes down, you can see there's another hole over to the left, but it's like you're playing every hole and you're like, this is just a single hole. It's just such a massive piece of property, but it's also, again, really, really fun. I wouldn't play it from 8,000 unless you want to just see what happens, but you're going to have a ton of elevation changes. You're going to be going up, down, left, right. You're going to be hitting over water. You're going to be hitting down and having the ball run up. You can't go long because of water. There's a lot of variety to this golf course, and so to me, it is a ton of fun. One thing that's also interesting about this course is the greens are massive. So if you are doing any type of auto putt, it's going to teach you not just to hit at the greens, but you are going to have to plan where on the green you're going to hit it. If you are putting, you're going to learn the value of lag putting when you play at this golf course. So really, really cool course. Meanders through the pine trees. It's really, really fun. I highly recommend this one. All right, course number 7. And honestly, I think I could have put this one a little bit higher on the list. I just didn't want to seem like a homer. We're coming here to the Chicagoland area. Actually, a course when I coached college, a lot of my players caddied at. It is Olympia Fields, the North Course. All right, so they just had the BMW Championship here. This golf course is super, super impressive. It is a hard golf course. It's just got a lot of really cool holes that meander through some woods. They go up and down this ridge. That's what a lot of like the really good country clubs in Chicago do. They usually find a ridge that they kind of use that go up because it's not the most terrain you'll ever see. But again, just a really, really hard golf course. And I recommend you turn up the green speeds and the firmness to really feel this golf course, because it is going to be a really, really big challenge. This is consistently one of the courses that challenges the pros the most, as long as they can keep the conditions firm. You make any golf course soft, it's going to be throwing darts for pros, but this course is awesome. I really like these holes on the back 9. We're at 14 here. We go to 13 is the short par 3, and then you actually get into number 12, which is another really, really cool hole. As we fly over it, you're going to be working your way down this little valley here. Essentially, you're going to work to the right, and then you have to cross this little ravine going towards the green. Again, just a really, really cool course. It's going to make you think, and then you're going to have to hit really, really quality shots. And again, if you turn that green speed up, you're going to really feel the value of placing your golf ball as you are going into those greens. All right, so another really, really fun one to play. All right, guys, I'm going to cheat here a little bit on number 6 because we're going to call it 2 courses. We are heading to Georgia, and we are playing the Georgia Golf Club, or what I really like is playing the Georgia Threes, which is the par 3 course at Georgia Golf Club. If you don't know what Georgia Golf Club is, I highly recommend you play it, and you will quickly learn where this golf course is. You'd be surprised that I didn't put it higher. I mean, this was a big deal. Oh, I get to play at this golf course because we see it every year on TV. But to me, it's like we kind of get inundated with it. You know, it's in video games, it's in a bunch of stuff. So you see it. So I kind of don't care to play it a whole bunch anymore. But I love the par 3 course. So I play this all the time. I have students play it all the time. You get to work on your irons. You get to work on hitting shots, some chipping, all of that stuff. And that's something that I really like for people to work on when they are in the winter time especially. But you will get really good. We used to always say who could go under par on the Georgia 3 course, and then we would see who could do the best as we kept going through it. So that's just something to look at as you're going through. But again, number 6, a great chance to see a golf course that you know, see what you can do. You're not going to get the full effect because you're not going to have all the hills that they play off and all of that stuff. But it is really cool to see what you can do out there and what the shots kind of feel and look like. Again, this is one, if you're going to play it, turn that green speed up. Get it up to 13. Make sure you have the greens fast so you get the full experience of using contours on the greens, using the slopes, and if you miss the greens, learning what's going on and how difficult it really is for these players that you watch, and really learn how good they are. That's always what I find interesting. All right, number 5, we are heading to the home of Larry Bird. We are going to French Lick, Indiana, kind of this resort, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. We are going to play the Pete Dye course at French Lick. They also have the Donald Ross course, which actually I find pretty fun. French Lick, the Dye course, is a brute. It is a bear of a golf course. Another golf course that if you stretch it out, it's over 8,000 yards. I believe it's around 8,300. So again, you're not going to want to play it from that deep. I've played this course. We played it from around 6,400 yards. That was a little short because everything kind of funnels to the same spot. But again, if you're hitting it at a distance of 200 to 220, that's going to be where you want to play, if not even shorter than that. But when you play this course, again, I like when you play it firm because this course is designed to have the ball running. You can see as we look at this first hole, we've got a big sloping fairway. There's a ton of undulation. You can see the rest of the holes as you're going through, just tons of slopes, tons of things going on. And that's what the course is designed to be like. Again, if you don't hit the ball in the right spot on the green, you run off into crazy areas. This course it's one that's going to punish bad shots really poorly. It will help you with good shots and get them to funnel and be kind of close. The greens aren't too crazy realistic if you're close, or sorry, undulating, I should say, if you hit it close. But it's just one that I think you should look at. Again, it's just interesting to see places like this. This place is in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, and it's a massive ballpark, a lot of cool things, and it will test your driver. If you can drive it in the fairway at this course, you are doing good. It'll test your short game, and it will test your accuracy with approach shots. Again, I highly recommend getting this one up, maybe not all the way to 13, but 11, 12. You're going to have a great time as you play this golf course as you're going through it, all right? All right, so we start getting into the top 4 here. These are going to be courses that I haven't played for the next couple, but I would love to absolutely play. This is Cypress Point Club. If you're not familiar with it, out on the Monterey Peninsula. The closest I've been, you can see the clubhouse in the first tee from Spyglass Hill, which I was fortunate enough to be able to play. But that's about as close as you can get without actually going to play it. So it's a course I've always wanted to play. Man, this looks so good on the projector. That looks awesome. This is the famous 16th hole, a par 3. You're always seeing people hitting drivers, stuff like that. They have to play over here. Just a course that shows really well on this software, all right? And again, it's enjoyable to play. There's courses that you might say, hey, why don't you have this one on here? Some of them are just not that fun to play because you're just getting punched in the mouth the entire day, no matter what. There's another club out there in New Jersey, this club that I think of, everybody probably knows of. They don't have enough tees, so if you're playing and you play from like the regular tees, I mean, there's holes where like even I struggle to get to the green in 2, and it's like, that's just not that much fun. But once in a while, it can be great. But this is just a cool course. I am a sucker for having holes that are on the water, things like that, but you also wind through the forest, you wind through some dunes and some sand as you play this course. Just a lot of variety again, going to get you thinking about what your strategy should be if you're really trying to miss some bunkers. And again, get that green speed up like they have it there, and you're going to have a great time on this one. All right, course number 3. This one was hard to put at number 3, honestly. If you said, hey, Scott, there's a golf course in the world that you get to play, what course would that be? And that's going to be Crystal Downs. This is a course, Alistair McKenzie, up in this part of the world, golf is just awesome. Up in the northern part of Michigan, having played some golf in this area, it's really, really fun. It's just such a beautiful place to be. You know, places like Arcadia Bluffs and all that makes me really want to play golf at this golf course. Having played it here on the simulator, tons of fun. You can see it might look a little long at first with like the first hole, 464-yard par 4, but you can see it's 30 yards downhill. There is a lot of that. Again, there's not too many tee options, but I think it's fair enough where you're going to have a good time playing it, but it will be a challenge. You're kind of working around this little ridge as you go, and as we move through, we go to 6. You're going to see some cool holes again. Where do you take your line? You have this tree. You can cut some of it. You cannot. You got a lot of options. And again, I think it's fun golf course to play in a variety of different styles. So you can say, hey, I want to try to be aggressive today. I want to try and play a more conservative game plan. So if we were trying to work on some things, and again, this looks so good here on the screen. If you're trying to play and learn some things about your game and different styles and stuff, you can do that at this golf course. So Crystal Downs, world renowned. Of course, somebody said you get to play one more course and that's it. I would love to get to this course and try it out. It would be too much fun. But right now, we'll just settle for GS Pro and playing it here on the simulator, which is also a great time. All right, we are here. We are on number 2. All right, so this is another course I have not played. This is one of those kind of bucket list, trips. If we could take this, this would be unbelievable. Also could probably put 2 courses in, but we're going to go with Cabot Cliffs. All right, they have the links course there as well, which is also on GS Pro. This course, just looking at it, I mean, look at this. Just ocean course up in Canada. These views, it's kind of got a Bandon look to it, which I've never been there either, but seen plenty about Bandon. But just awesome, awesome golf course. Super friendly to play. You can see how wide the fairways are as you're going through, but it's just one of those things when you're playing, it's like, man, I would love to go there, love to play it. So you got short holes, you got long holes, you got easy par 5s, you got trouble if you go to one side. But again, you got plenty of room. And again, visually, it's just an awesome, awesome golf course. Whoever designs these, and this one I believe was TechBud, shout out, because this is awesome. All right, so be able to get this onto your golf simulator and play here without having to spend the thousands of dollars to go. That is awesome. And again, one day, hopefully, we will be able to go and play this one. All right, and number 1 on the list, I actually have had a chance to play it. Interesting enough, the last 4 of the top 4 are all in the C's. But Chicago Golf Club, the original 18 holes in North America, this golf course is awesome. All right, having had a chance to play it, truly is a special place. You're not allowed a rangefinder. No rangefinders allowed. No phones allowed on property, which actually made for a really nice day because you just have, hey, I can't talk to you. They won't allow me. They'll ban me for life, is essentially what would happen. And then it's just a golf course that plays so interestingly. It's a weird place. So you drive up to it. It's like in the middle of a turn in the middle of a neighborhood, and then you're like, whoa, there it is. And it's got a tiny sign. And then you have this just what looks like a field where there's a golf hole, and golf holes out there. But then you realize that when you play it, it's just so interesting because of how the bunkers work. They really are penal. Also, the greens are really treacherous. And if you miss around the greens, really treacherous. So this course, if you're going to play it, it should be mandatory. As fast and firm as you can set it. Greens as fast as you can get them. That's the only way this golf course should be played, because this course is meant to bounce the ball up. You can see all the bunkers. This is a course where, again, it looks a lot longer. When I played it, there would be a bunker at 370. You're like, oh, I'm going to be well short of it. But then you'd hit the downslope of a hill, and honestly, would get into it. You're like, whoa, I feel kind of good about it, but don't like being in the bunker. But just some really cool holes. And as you go through, we take you through, even on the first hole, you can see a couple of the holes. When we fly through, just some really cool shapes. And this makes a big difference as you're going through, because as you're playing the hole, the way the greens are shaped and where the pins are, the fact that they're squared off and then there's bunkers cutting in, you really have to play angles at this golf course. You will hit the ball. Again, if you have the speed turned up, you will hit the ball. It will land on a part of the green, but you need to hit the slope in the proper direction. That is what you're looking for. So again, it's really going to test your creativity. It's going to test what you think about golf. This is how golf was initially supposed to be played, and I think it really helps if you get back into that mindset of how it was designed originally to help you feel a little bit more like, hey, maybe I need to think of golf in a little bit of a different way than how I currently think about it, right? So just a really awesome place. Again, probably a little biased having gotten the chance to play it. I hope one day to be able to do it again, having seen it. But you do really get a good experience if you set it up correctly of how it is to play this golf course. So highly recommend this one, as when you get GS Pro, fire up Chicago Golf, give it a try. I think you're going to be in for a really fun time. It might be a little difficult too. All right, guys, so there we go. That's my top 10. Again, I want to hear what you have to think, all right? And remember, all of the things that I use for my simulator, my Launch Monitor, Mevo Plus, everything that I have, my enclosures, are all linked down below with discounts. Don't miss out on those things. And also, make sure you check out that BenQ projector, because that looked awesome, and that was the 600. That is just the value projector that they have. So I will link that down below as well. And again, I want to hear what your courses are. Which ones did I miss? I know there's a ton that I left off the list. I wanted to put Arcadia on there. I wanted to put Olympic Club. I had a great time playing that one. Any of those courses, National Golf Links, man, there's just so many, all right, that I left off and you think should be on there. Let me know in the comments below. Again, everybody, more coming with helping you get better, learning numbers, all that stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.